Honey, do you have your thermos bottle?
My thermos bottle? Yes. Of course I have it. Today I'm off to a picnic with some buddies. We're going to enjoy autumn in all its splendor in a nearby mountain. Okay. Let's see now. Nothing tops off fresh air and scenic beauty like a nice bento. You see this? Well, I've made it myself. The guys really loved my character, Bento.
What? What in the world is that?
You want to see it? No, I won't let you. I can't wait for lunch.
Who wouldn't want to enjoy having their lunch? A cute lunchbox will realize just that for you, wouldn't you agree? Cute lunchboxes with vivid colors are now the trend among women in Japan.
I feel better if the box is cute. I wouldn't want the same box as someone else. I want something original, yeah.
And look at the shape of this one. What is this made for?
Pasta, wow.
That's right. It is designed to contain pasta with sauce. Here we have a cute geisha and a samurai. Look here. The head splits open and... Oh, it's a miso soup bowl. This would surely add variety to the meal. Frenchman Thomas Bertrand owns this shop. He explains he was amazed by the rich variety of boxed lunches in Japan, something he had not seen in his country. What is the charm of the bento, the Japanese boxed lunch?
When you open the bento box, it must look pretty. That's what makes lunch more pleasant. If it looks pretty, it'll whet your appetite. Visual beauty is essential. That's the appeal of the Japanese bento culture.
Bento, culinary art inside a small box. Today, we'll look into the beauty of the Japanese bento boxed lunch. We'll start out with the Bento of Kyoto. A bento delivery bicycle runs through the ancient streets of Gion, Kyoto. The people of Kyoto have long cherished the bento catering services. This is a bento from one such service. What's noteworthy is the great number of side dishes. The box is adorned lavishly and beautifully with 20 different dishes. In Kyoto, it is the custom to order luxurious, catered bento for important guests or celebratory occasions. This bento shop has been in business for over 180 years. Many of its clients are gourmet regulars around the Gion area. The chef meticulously yet modestly displays his excellent skills. He explains that there are two important factors that make it possible to pack many side dishes in one box beautifully without having them clash. The first of which is the use of color. Ingredients of 5 different colors are used in balance. First, the delicate yellow of the dashi broth egg roll. The elegant red of the Japanese tiger prawn. The green of the bamboo leaf that gently wraps the sea bream sushi. The white white of the turnip, sliced to look like a chrysanthemum. Last but not least, the dark brown of the soy sauce spices up the whole color palette. Even if each ingredient is rich in color, the outcome won't be so lavishing should those colors clash. The second important factor is the actual technique of presentation. This is Iwamatsu Kawamura, the 5th generation operator of the Bento catering shop. First, a generous amount of rice is placed at one end of the box. The number of side dishes is countless. They vary from those from the sea to those picked from the mountains. The sizes and shapes of each of the dishes differ. In Kawamura's mind, there's always a plan of how to position the numerous dishes.
It mustn't look too flat, so I always make a mountain at the further end and take the height down from there, like a river flowing down from it towards the front. To decorate that flow, I'd create hills and valleys. That difference in height brings diversity to the presentation.
The rice acts as the mountain, and the dashi broth egg rolls are placed in a lower level. Next, taller dishes are placed so that the egg rolls now look like a valley. Such irregularity of height creates scenery of different dishes. And to finish off the presentation, Kawamura works on what might be called the downstream of the river. The height of the side dishes are lowered towards the edges of the box so that the bento looks good when seen from the front. Dishes are arranged with a sense of gaiety. The gluten bread is cut in squares, the baby potatoes in hexagons, and the pumpkins in trapezoids. The different shapes are intentionally displaced to create rhythm.
I think of the customers enjoying the meal as they try to decide what to eat next. That's what I aim for when planning out my bento. Of course, the ultimate aim is for them to enjoy the meal.
The bento box is only 20 to 30 centimeters square. Nonetheless, inside it is rich scenery of the most carefully selected ingredients and finest techniques. The first mark of beauty is packing luxury in tiny space. In the early 1930s, an evolutionary style of bento was born in Osaka. It was called Shokudo Bento. The box is divided into 4 compartments, into which are placed dishes of 4 different tastes and appearances. In this particular box, not only are the dishes placed in different compartments, they are placed in individual plates. The man who invented this style is Chef Teiichi Yuki. His unique imagination took Japanese cuisine up a notch and raised it to art. With the Shokudo Bento style, Yuki presented the time flow that accompanies the traditional Japanese course meal called kaiseki.
There's the sashimi, appetizers, cooked dish, all in one box. The notable characteristic of this style is that a full course comes in a single box.
What exactly is kaiseki, the Japanese full-course meal? A Japanese full course, or kaiseki, consists of around 10 dishes, starting with mukozuke, or the dish placed at the opposite end. It is enjoyed slowly with the passing of time. The kaiseki course style was initially established to serve guests attending a tea ceremony. The style was the ultimate form of hosting guests with seasonal plates and room decorations. In the Shokudo Bento style, this rich flow of time is expressed by concentrating a full course into one box. The inspiration to the style using a box with 4 compartments was this box. It is a tobacco tray once owned by a monk named Shokudo Bento who loved the tea ceremony. There is a historical background to the introduction of the Shokudo Bento. The 1930s witnessed tea ceremonies grow common among the masses and more frequent. Some brought together 2,000 people per day.
When that many people attend a ceremony, one can no longer enjoy tea in a small room with a full course meal.
Yuki tried to think of a way for many people to enjoy the taste of a full course meal, even at a large-scale tea ceremony. By using separate plates, cold dishes could be served cold and warm ones warm. He replicated the hospitality found in a full course meal and arranged it in a small lunchbox. On opening the box, the guest is overwhelmed by a display of hospitality. The traditional tea ceremony gave birth to a new sophisticated bento style.
Oh man, I guess the picnic is off. Oh well then. I guess I'll just eat my bento anyway. Yep.
Whoa!
It's pretty good, huh?
That could use some improvement.
What? You don't like it?
Next, let's take a look at a bento style that originated in old Tokyo. This is leading actress Mao Daichi. Looks like this is one exciting show. We are at an esteemed theater in Nihonbashi, Tokyo. The curtain comes down for a 30-minute intermission, one that the audience has looked forward to. That's right. Everywhere you look, people are opening up their makunouchi bento.
I always look forward to it when coming to a show. It's great to eat at your seat while talking about the first act.
This is a typical makunouchi bento. It can be eaten on your lap, and it contains the 3 classic dishes: egg roll, grilled fish, and boiled fish paste. The makunouchi bento style spread in the Edo period. Back then, kabuki was the popular form of entertainment among the common people. When enjoying kabuki, people often spent the whole day there, eating meals served by caterers, and then came along the bento style. As the bento was enjoyed in between acts, or maku in Japanese, the bento was named makunouchi, literally meaning in between acts. Let us replicate what it looked like back then. An 18-centimeter box is filled with 10 rice balls. And of course it has the 3 classics: egg roll, boiled fish paste, and grilled fish. Well, at first it was grilled tofu instead of fish. People ate it bit by bit throughout the day. Let's now go back to the theater of our time. The makunouchi bento has been modernized to make it easier for people to enjoy it during the 30-minute break.
It's all about making it easy to eat. Each ingredient has been cut into sizes that can be eaten in one bite. There's no need to cut it up with chopsticks.
The rice is shaped in small portions, making it easier for one to pick up. The dishes, too, are prepared so that one can eat it in one bite. The small portions are made using the techniques developed by the professional cooks of the Edo period. The second mark of beauty is the aesthetics of Edo in each bite. Should you want to witness the Edo aesthetics, where else to go but Nihonbashi? A bento that has been loved in Tokyo since the Edo period can be found here. A bento shop founded over 160 years ago makes this bento. The bento is known for being seasoned with a generous amount of sugar and soy sauce.
We Tokyoites love flavorful food. We are very core, passionate fans of this bento, for which we are truly grateful.
It is 1 in the morning. The preparation for the good old bento begins. Huge amounts of sugar are added to the taro. Yes, huge amounts. Next, dark soy sauce is added to give it color as well as a strong taste. These are the only 2 seasonings used. From there, it's just left to cook until the water evaporates. There is a reason for the strong seasoning.
To avoid the bento from going bad throughout the long course of time, we need to flavor it strongly. Not to mention that the flavor will be maintained over time.
After 2 whole hours over heat, the deep color sauce created by the Edo people gives the taro potatoes a gorgeous glow. This kind of glossy finish can only be created by using a generous amount of sugar and soy sauce. It's an amber color that makes your mouth water. There are always those old-timers who insist on the genuine traditional taste. It is said that fires and fights were the highlights of Edo Old Tokyo. Firemen were considered to be heroes back then, and that tradition is carried on today by Taro Koizumi. Koizumi was born and raised in Nihonbashi. To this day, he orders this bento at least once a week. What is it that attracts Koizumi, who is a professional carpenter, to this bento?
The guys around here grew up eating this bento. I can't think of anything else. Especially in the summer. I perspire a lot and use up my energy, so my body craves for this taste.
Although Nihonbashi is a sophisticated area nowadays, back in the old days, many people here engaged in manual labor, and the bento made with plenty of sugar and soy sauce was the source of energy for them. It's not an easy task to maintain the traditional taste.
You either love the taste or hate it totally. From a business aspect, I guess it's better to season it a bit less strongly and aim for a wider customer range. But that would mean the end of a taste passed down for over 150 years. Although there might be people who hate it, I think it's great that for the people who love it, it's the taste of heaven.
It might seem like a modest-looking dish, but it's the result of a Tokyoite preserving traditional taste.
Take a look, I went through my cabinet. Let's see. This is the bento box I had when I just got married. I remember my wife making me a bento with pink sprinkles atop the rice in the shape of a heart. Oh, how I felt her love. This one I used when I was a kid. The ingredients might have been modest, but my mom always remembered to cut sausages in the shape of an octopus. It really made me happy. Octopus-shaped sausages. Aw, those were the days.
This merchant's house dates back over 300 years. A collection of antique bento boxes dating back over generations are carefully kept here. All the boxes were made for picnics and outings. Since olden times, the people of Kyoto have long enjoyed the 4 seasons typical of Japan. They have decorated their bento boxes to meet such different seasons with great passion. The box intended for use in spring has, what else, but cherry blossoms on them. The petals seem like they're real. The one for early summer has fireflies on them. A river elegantly runs through the scenery. The fireflies are represented by little pieces of metal embedded on the box surface. How about the one for autumn, when the leaves turn red? Let's take a look. Care for some sake while enjoying the autumn leaves? This is Tatsuji Tamaoki, the 11th head of the merchant's house. He has brought out a very special item. Huh? Is he going to make tea?
I'd take this wrapped in cloth and pretend like I've come to make some tea. So one would think, I thought we're going to have sake, but I guess we're having a tea ceremony. And then I'd open this up, and here I have a little cup for sake, and I'd serve it. You can put sake in here. One would be fooled. See, it's actually a bento box. They'd be like, phew, I was worried you didn't bring any sake. That's so funny.
Pack a bento box with the most lavishing dishes and off to the fields. There's nothing that tops that. Our last mark of beauty is nature on the box, nature all around. Here in Tokushima Prefecture, a unique and distinct bento box can be found. They are tiered bento boxes for children with a designated little bag. Each box is adorned with cute drawings. The name for such bento is Yusan Bento. In the old days, at the doll festival season in spring, it was the custom for children to go play in the fields and nearby rivers, unsupervised by adults. And that event was called Yusan. To celebrate that, many Yusan bentos were made in the 1910s to the 1920s. The 3 inner boxes are colorful, all in different colors. The top layer was filled with sweet Japanese confectionery, the middle with cooked vegetables, and the bottom with sushi rolls. The outer box is carefully decorated too. A boy's box would have bullet trains and chess pieces, nice and cool. A girl's box would be cute, with flowers and birds. late 1960s, the Yusan custom gradually went out of fashion, and so did Yusan bentos. Now, after around 40 years, people are trying to bring it back. Katsuko Hamada is one of them, who has started to use the Yusan bento once again. This is the one she used when she was a child. It is filled with memories.
There was a riverbank near my house, and after a while you'd come to a riverbed. I remember how I used to play there with my friend. We'd place our bento on a rock and eat it. It was nothing special, but it tasted so good. My mother would take days preparing it. She'd boil eggs, which were expensive back then, and made yokan jelly for me.
Hamada, feeling nostalgic for the Yusan bento, wished for her grandchildren to know of the tradition too. So she crafted Yusan boxes especially for them. On this day, she, together with her grandchild, Nozomi, packed the boxes with specially made dishes. They are off to a picnic. They are decorating a boiled egg in the shape of a rabbit. Hamada's mother used to do this for her and stuffed it into her Yusan bento. They head for nearby Mount Bizan, overlooking the whole of Tokushima City. It is time for the main event, lunch. The clear blue sky complements the vibrant colors of the Yusan bento boxes. Nozomi bites into her favorite, fried chicken. Hamada, too, takes a bite, looking back at her childhood.
See the egg yolk? It's so tasty. I love it. I love the grilled rice cakes. Oh, you do? It tastes so good to eat it in a quiet place outside. It brings back memories. You can see the house I grew up in over there.
The ways to enjoy a bento are just countless. Why not stuff your own bento box with your favorite dishes and head outdoors to look for the signs of autumn?
I've made my own special bento! It's filled with memories with a hint of love. Right, the sun is out now. I'm gonna take off now. Ah, the weather is great.